Welcome to the farm tonight. It's a little windy, so I'm actually I'm sitting in the back of the truck with the hay barn blocking some of the wind. I hope I'm in a decent spot. But let me know where you're joining me from. I just got home from a work trip and taking care of one of our horses, and I need some advice and looking for ideas and thoughts. So let me know where you're joining me from tonight. Charlotte's from New Mexico and Courtney from Missouri. Denise says good evening. Just Me said hello, hello from Santan Valley. And Mark Smith, our good friend from Iowa. Mark, good to see you on here. So let me know where you all are joining me from. Hit that like button. And I'm going to tell you my dilemma. I'm kind of at a crossroads, wondering what to do here. So I need some help. Okay, we got someone from Oregon. Sorry, the wind. Sometimes there's some gusts that are probably making it kind of loud. L. Well said, hi, Alan. And Cheryl said, hello from Canada. Kathy from Billings. And Brenda from Missouri. Mark, you're amazing. Mark just sent a super chat. I don't know how you do that all the time. You're so kind. Oh, and Vicky from the house. Vicky's up at the house. She jumped on. But it's a beautiful, you can see the sunset back there. It's a beautiful night besides the wind. And I just wanted to share with you, like I say, a dilemma that I have. We love to help horses that are down on their luck, and our goal is to help them get healthier and in a better situation, whether that means more training or castration or just get them healthier. A lot of times that requires a lot of feed and time. But sometimes you get an older horse, and despite the amount of feed you give them, well, let me turn it around and I'll tell you which one I'm talking about. There's Hitch, by the way, out here enjoying the evening with Missy. But this is a horse that we call Boss. We didn't give her that name. She came with that name. It makes it sound like she's bossy or kind of a pain, but she's actually a sweetheart. And we were given this horse, but a free horse is not a gift. Those of you that have horses know what I'm talking about. Just because someone gives them to you doesn't mean that they're free, because we're putting about $150 worth of feed per month per horse if we're feeding hay all the time. If we're not feeding hay all the time and can put them out on pasture, that helps. But even then, there's property taxes, there's water assessments for the water company, the irrigation company, and so it all costs money. So you get a horse like this that was given to us, and they asked if I could help find her a good home. I said, well, I think we can, but here's the problem. We've enjoyed having her around for, let's see, since February. So March, April, May, June, July. So 5 months we've had her here, and we've enjoyed having her, because when company comes and wants to ride a horse, by the way, this isn't a horse she normally, I just tied her up with the flake of hay to talk to you for a while. But that's the problem, Kathy. She is thin, okay? So we've been feeding her I'd say twice as much as all the other horses, trying to get her weight up. And she's staying thin. I've checked her teeth. They don't appear to need to be floated. She actually eats well. But if I get an equine dentist over here, it's going to cost about $250. And that may or may not help. But there comes a time when horses just don't put on weight easily. And so then I've got to make a big decision. I could just have her go to a new home that wants to take the risk and the time. And because anybody can ride this horse, kids or adults. But because she's thin, I'd love to get her healthier before I got her to a new home. But that takes time and money. And honestly, the amount of feed I'm putting into her, she's still not gaining weight. So here's my dilemma and my plea for some help tonight. If you've done something to put weight on horses, an older horse, I'm guessing she's probably 24 years old. But if you've done something to put weight on older horses, then please tell me what that is in the comments. And we will actually add the suggestions to our Amazon wish list, because all the supplements and all the things that people will suggest are wonderful, but it can get very pricey in a hurry. And so there comes a point, I never want to put her down or anything like that. I love to see a horse just live out its life being useful and happy and healthy. But there comes a point that if I can't put weight on her, then what do I do? So there you go. I'm being real honest and vulnerable with you. James says she probably has parasites or worms. She's been wormed. She's been dewormed very regularly. So that's not the problem. But thank you for the suggestion. And she's been dewormed often. Like I say, she's getting twice the amount of feed that the other horses are getting. I've wanted to try some equine senior, but again, it's very pricey. And so we'll add some of this to our Amazon wish list. If there's anyone out there that could, oh my gosh, Mark, you don't need to keep helping. You're amazing. Mark helps so much. And I saw, I'm not looking at all the comments, but I saw someone, prayers for Texas. When there's much bigger problems in the world, like the flooding in Texas and the loss of lives there, this seems like such a minor thing to even talk to you about. But anyway, I hope I can get some ideas. Like I say, if I found someone that wanted to take the risk and wanted to see if they could put the weight on her and would provide her with a good home, then that's one option. But I've kept her for 5 months, and what I'm doing isn't putting the weight on. And so I've got to do something different, or someone else can try to do something different. But I don't want her to go, if I took her, if you took a horse like this to auction, you know what the fate may be. So that's not even an option. We want her to go to a good home or stay with us, but that's a pricey option. So we're looking for some ideas. Mark, bless his heart, he sent $30 tonight to help. And every little bit does help. $30 will buy 2 bales of hay in Arizona, and it'll pay about half of a bag of equine senior. I think they were about $60 a bag for a 50-pound bag. And so, and those, but then there's other options. But I've been giving her sweet feed. I've been giving her some weight gain powder. I don't know what it is. Elderly people get to a point that they don't keep the weight on either. And so I hope she's not just to the point of no return. She is healthy. She moves well. When she's ridden, she does well. I have not been riding her. I've just been letting little kids ride her. Jocelyn's sister, who's about as tiny as Jocelyn, rode her on our trail ride and had a great time. So she's healthy. She's just not keeping the weight on or putting it on. And so, do I keep trying? But again, she's not unhealthy. So that's the other thing I want to mention. Having a horse like that on YouTube, I get comments. That horse is so thin. You're being neglectful. You're not doing it. And so then people that know us know that we are good to our horses and we try very hard. But it's interesting when you have a horse you can't put weight on because you're judged pretty harshly. So Sandy said you feed 2 times a day. We do that. 18% protein and grain, alfalfa pellet lightly soaked in water. He eats very little hay because of his teeth. Sandy, those are good ideas. Right now, the good thing is Boss does eat hay well, and so he can, like I say, this was not the best place to feed him other than I wanted to go live and sit in a place where the wind wasn't disturbing. But he eats hay well, but for some reason he's just not keeping on the weight. He's been dewormed. He seems healthy. So, and I could take him to the vet to get their opinion, but again, that's more expense. And so as you can see, not only the $150 a month in feed, but then you start racking up vet bills and dentist bills and all kinds of stuff. L. Well said, to be honest, you did put weight on her. Perhaps he never put the weight you like. She is old and that's what her body needs. I know your feed. Thank you. We do feed our horses well, but like I say, there's some supplements and stuff I wouldn't mind trying. Some equine senior that I wonder if it could help, because maybe there's just different nourishment she needs at this age. But there comes a point, it's like, what do I do? But because she's healthy, as far as moving around, and she seems happy and she doesn't seem to be in pain, we may just keep her around for people to ride, just little kids to ride and stuff on the farm if she doesn't put the weight on. But you know, I don't think I need to put a horse down because they won't put on weight. But like I said, we're judged pretty harshly when people see a thin horse on the farm. For one reason, though, people sometimes don't understand that we do rescue horses. So a lot of times if they see a thin horse on the farm, it's because we barely got it, like Ombre that we got from auction and was almost dead, and then people see the horse and they're like, wow, your horses are thin, and they don't realize that we barely got them. Boss is a different story. We've had her for 5 months and yet she's still thin, and so that's a different situation. Sandy says it takes about 3.5 hours to eat. Wow. Terry says my old horse always put them on probiotics to help their digestion. You know, I actually did try some probiotic. I didn't notice a difference, but you know, maybe I'll try that again, especially if I get some equine senior or something. Like Mark said, our hay quality seems good. I haven't had it tested for the amount of protein. Wendy's saying maybe we ought to get the vet to check for a heart murmur. Anyway, good ideas. So that's what I'm asking you. Like I said, if anyone wanted to try all these things and has the money to try to keep her healthy and put weight on her, then if I knew it was a good home, that go into a good situation, then that would be great. Vernon says she's still eating well. She may just be a skinny horse for the rest of her days. Vernon, I'm kind of to that point, but L. Wells says her coat is great. I've had many just like her in my 50 years of horse breeding. Higher protein, senior feed, beet pulp, and alfalfa. She is old. Vicky asked about her teeth. I'm not a equine dentist, but I've checked out her teeth to the best I can. They come together well. There's no ridges or grooves that are keeping her teeth from touching. So I think her teeth are okay, but like I say, an equine dentist could be good. But like I say, all these things cost money and time. And the time I'm willing to take, the money, sometimes you get to the point, it's like, how much can you put into one horse? As much as I love them, I struggle knowing how much I can do. But anyway, John the Beagle Dad's on. He's good at jumping on all the time. Vicky just added probiotics and equine senior to the farm wish list on YouTube, it looks like, or on Amazon. Thank you, Vicky. Also, on a happy note, that's kind of, the wind's dying down, so that's a happy note. The horses are over here eating. But if you have not checked out our son Blake and his girl, their channel, it's Cowboy and the Lady. And I'll tell you what, Blake is a natural. I watched his video the other day, and I've watched Vicky editing some of his upcoming videos. Vicky's helping him get a start. And he is hilarious. He's so fun to watch. Jocelyn is just amazing. She hasn't been in a lot of the first videos just because the two of them weren't together as much, but they will be more in upcoming videos. So go check out Cowboy and the Lady. Vicky, if you're still on, maybe you could put a link to their video. Go subscribe. I know I'm prejudiced, but I think they may be my new favorite channel. And let me turn this around. Oh, Vicky just put that. Now, obviously, my favorite channel is Quick and Tasty on the Farm, because there's this beautiful girl that cooks, and she's gorgeous, and she happens to be my beautiful bride. So, Quick and Tasty on the Farm. Bless Vicky's heart, between editing for our channel and helping Blake start his channel. Her own channel is always on the back burner. But no, when she says she needs to get her act together, that's not the problem. She just helps everyone else. So look at all the beautiful animals out here tonight, guys. Mark, we can't thank you enough for the super chats. If any of you want to help out with us trying to get her healthier, then look at our Amazon wish list. There's always, I sure hope it's your wife. Yes, she is my wife. So, but, oh, let me turn this around. Someone just asked about the peacocks. Fred is still alive and roaming free, and I hope he can make it, because those coyotes must have come in again and got all the roosters. So if I could catch him, I'd maybe lock him up for a while, but he flies and is very, he's very tough to, I was trying to zoom in. He would be very tough to catch, and he stays up in the trees at night. So I'm hoping that the coyotes don't get him. I really hope that. But the baby peacock that was still alive is still doing good. I feel bad for it because it's lonely. Some people mentioned maybe I need to get it a friend. I don't know what kind of friend. I'm afraid Fred might not be friendly. So those of you that are new to the channel or didn't know, Wilma, the mother peacock, and 3 of her babies got eaten by a coyote or coyotes or a bobcat or something. Came in and just really messed things up. Kathy says a chick. The problem with a baby chick is it would be so much smaller that I'm afraid that the peacock, the baby peacock, would probably kill it. Poultry is not, I've seen sometimes people compare chickens to dinosaurs. They can be kind of aggressive, and peacocks are the same way. So, well guys, there you have it. Let me turn it around again real quick. Beautiful night on the farm. Be watching for our upcoming videos. Yeah, if you wonder if we feed well, check out Rawhide. Oops. You can check out Rawhide or Chipper or Nugget or Harley. They all feed at the same time, the same feed. But Boss I've separated and been feeding her so I could feed her twice as much and give her supplements and stuff, so she's by herself. But there you have it. There's this old horse that would be great for kids, but if someone was to take her on as a project, you'd have to know that at this point she's not putting on weight. I'm not saying she can't, but she hasn't with my efforts so far. And so I'm kind of at a crossroads. What do I do? Do I keep pouring more and more and more feed into her? Do I find someone else that could help do it? Do I ask for your help? I don't know. I'm kind of at a crossroads. But the one thing I promise you I won't do is take her to auction. We'll either find her a good home that's willing to try to keep her weight on and keep her healthy, or we'll just keep her here on the farm and let kids ride her and enjoy her. I'm not one that, if there ever was a time to put a horse down, it would be when they are in such pain or so unhealthy that they just can't enjoy life. Right now, I think she's enjoying life, but if she can enjoy life well enough to move around well and not seem in pain, then I'm gonna let her be ridden also, not by heavy people. But some people are like, I can't believe you're letting her be ridden. And it's like, well, you know what? Horses are not just there to be looked at, I don't believe. I think they're there to be enjoyed. And if you don't ride them hard and you're careful with them, I think it's good. Cheryl, thank you. Blake's channel is awesome. Mark, you're amazing. Thank you for all that you do. Jason Wells. All right, so Jason Wells just asked me a great question. I cannot wait to meet Jason Wells in person one day. He and I have become good friends just over social media, which has been cool. Jason lives with his family in Utah and shares a lot of our same core values and interests. But Jason, the question he just asked, and I'll answer, is who is my go-to horse. If I had a horse that I can get on right now, Chipper is that horse for everybody. I can get on her and do anything. So can a 1-year-old granddaughter. But I also have Lex that is my horse, and she doesn't get ridden as much as I'd like because I'm spending time on all these other projects and rescues, which is why I'm trying to help some of them go to other homes. We're gonna let Harley go to a new home, Pumpkin, Shevlin, some others that you'll see in upcoming videos that I'll surprise you with. A couple rescues have come in that were not expected, but anyway, so I'm trying to get some horses to new homes. Blake's actually gonna move to BYU, Idaho, in Rexburg, Idaho, and so I only have him here for a couple months, and so he's helping me, but I really need to trim down. The cost of groceries for humans is so high right now that we're trying to be a little wiser, and just we're living in some tough times. That would be cool, Cheryl, if we could get a peacock from Eddie Farm Fam. We love those guys. The problem is getting a baby peacock from Oklahoma to here would be not only pricey, it would be difficult, I think. But there you have it, guys. Just thought I'd get on since I'm home from my work trip. Like Ty's mentioning right there, Casey, our youngest daughter, is on a humanitarian trip that she paid for to go build a house for a needy family in Belize, and she is having the time of her life. They do work hard, but then they play hard too, so they get half a day to work and half a day to play. Today she was going to be on some tubes through some water caves, so we're excited to hear how that went. And she gets home this weekend, so it's just 1 week that she's been away. Lost Tribe, yes, she's been dewormed. She's been being fed about twice what the other horses are being fed. She's had sweet feed and weight gain powder, and I know there's other things out there though. Beet pulp, senior equine. There's all kinds of other options, and that's why I wanted to enlist your help tonight. If anyone wants to take her on as a project and let her train your grandkids to ride and stuff, knowing that she's not putting on weight very well, then that's one option. The other option is for us to keep her here for our neighbors and grandkids and stuff, but maybe you could send us, or would want to send us, something to help with that project. That's what I'm saying. So Mark has helped us tonight with his super chats. Alpha Pro, we'll have to check that out. Vicky, maybe we could add that to the Amazon wish list. Alpha Pro. Ty, I appreciate that. Ty says to pray about what we should do with her. We are a praying people, and we pray for our animals. We really do. And so to specifically pray about what to do with her is a good thought, and we will do that, Ty. Well, guys, it's a beautiful night. I hope the wind's not too bad. I'm glad Vicky joined me from up in the house, but I'm gonna go up to the house and give her a kiss. And Blake happens to be in Disneyland with Jocelyn and her family. Casey in Belize, and our 2 married kids gone. So we're empty nesters for a few days. It's kind of crazy. Ty, it was 100 degrees today as I was driving on the reservation. He just asked how hot it was here today. Okay, Donna says the hay takes energy to break down, so oats and barley soaked. So maybe that's something else we can try, is some alfalfa pellets and stuff. I don't know how Amazon even works, but Vicky does, but I don't. So sending a bag of feed might cost more because of shipping, unless shipping's free. I don't know how that all works. And so sometimes just a Tractor Supply gift card we could get some pellets and not have all the shipping is what. Okay, Linda says cod liver oil helps a lot. High fiber, wetter food. Now, those of you giving me the idea to wet her food, if she's still chewing well, do I need to wet her food? That's just a question I have. I've noticed a lot of people say that, but then I'm just curious how that works. Kathy's saying Amazon Prime, maybe Amazon. Is Amazon Prime free shipping? I don't even understand Amazon. I just know that boxes arrive at our house. It's like the stork. They used to deliver babies. That's how I think Amazon is. Okay. Catherine saying millions of dollars are gonna come. Well, that's interesting. Alpha Pro is top-notch, fortified ground alfalfa cube formulated to meet all nutritional. That's interesting. I hadn't looked at that one. So that's why I was asking you guys. Kathy says, yep, Amazon Prime is free shipping. That's crazy. I don't know how you ship a heavy bag of feed for free, but that's cool. All right, so someone's saying you have to make a mash of feed with just some water in it for senior horses. Only if she's not chewing well. Okay. Vicky assures me we have Prime Amazon, so when I see those packages, we're not paying shipping. That's awesome. Well, guys, as I sign off, enjoy that sunset. It's a beautiful night. Good night, everybody.